So, Jim, you have a great perspective on what's going on in the region and nationally with nonprofits. How are they impacted by COVID-19, and what are you seeing? What's the feedback and the need that's most pressing today?
Well, interestingly enough, I think as nonprofits, we always put community first, and so I think for some nonprofits, particularly in the Bay Area, when funds were being raised for COVID, all those dollars that were raised went to direct cash supports for people, and I think that was, and I totally support that. But I think where we may have missed the boat a little bit, particularly as funders, was to say, okay, it's great that that money's getting out, but who's getting it out, and how do we support them, and how do we actually make sure that when COVID uh, goes away someday, or there's a vaccine and things really start to reopen, how do we make sure that they're still in existence? And I don't think we've had those conversations in enough detail yet. We lost one nonprofit in West County that we were that is sad. It's the Richmond Convention and Visitors Bureau, which really was the organization that brought tourism to the museums and the art studios and everything in Richmond. They recently um, made the decision to go out of business. Our local Girls Inc. organization has just because of costs, has reduced their footprint. They have actually, I don't know if they've done it officially yet, but they're looking to um, sort of end their affiliation with Girls Inc. because they can't afford to pay the national dues and all of that for those organizations. So, it really is, yeah, organizations are struggling right now. And I hopefully think, at least for philanthropy, after we get through this phase of cash disbursements, that we really look at how we sort of reinvest in the nonprofits who helped us in that work. They're going to need support in future technology, if they don't need it already, to make sure that they can keep their staff employed in a virtual world. They're going to need help thinking about how they might want to merge with another organization, or they might want to find a way to eliminate some staff and maybe do some of their administration in a shared model with some other nonprofits. So there's lots of things I think that we will see come out of this, and things that we probably can't even imagine yet, but that would be really helpful and beneficial ultimately to how nonprofits are structured.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Are you seeing philanthropy increase or decrease right now?
Well, I'm seeing philanthropy increase in that a lot of foundations have made a commitment to increase the spending of their endowments. So they're going above and beyond the 5%. They're also providing, and a lot of organizations, a lot of philanthropy has, and we've done this as well, has shifted our grants to general operating. So if you had a grant from a foundation and it was for direct services, and you're struggling to deliver those services in a remote environment, you may not have the numbers you had in the past. Um, I think we need to shift those to general operating.
Interesting. So more overhead support to just keep staff employed, lights on, fees paid. Mhm.
We need to be helping nonprofits think about how they engage in the some of the federal payroll protection money. A lot of nonprofits really struggled, even in working with their local banks, to be able to set that up. Um, so I think there were some lost elements there that could have supported nonprofits. Some nonprofits didn't know they were even eligible. Right, that word doesn't necessarily get out, particularly to smaller nonprofits with budgets, of 100,000 or less, who may still do important work, but are just stuck in that sort of hand to mouth existence.
With this latest valuable episode, we'd love to thank you for joining us on the Creating Community for Good podcast. If you found today's show valuable, simply visit our website, creatingcommunityforgood.com, to leave a review as well as to get access to additional resources and relevant links from this show. Stay tuned for more episodes.